Ravens defeat the Dolphins 56-19. No, I did not misspeak. An NFL team did that to another NFL team. 56-19. Tattoo Tua, 22 completions, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Future MVP 2 times. Lamar Jackson, 18 completions, 321 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, I was looking. My fault. I was looking at the highlights, but then we talked about it on a breakdown. You know that it was all this game was. You know, Lamar had a chance to put a stamp on the MVP race, which he did. It just is a benefit to what, you know, you look at the game, you see the way he's seeing the game, you see the way he's seeing the defense. He's playing, you know, amazing right now, and it is a reason why he will be the two-time MVP. You come into the game knowing what's on the line. You come into the game knowing that, you know, with a win, your team played well. You wrap up the number one seed. You get the bye, you get the extra rest. So it was impressive, you know, to see the defense and the offense playing in unison like that. And it's like, you know, it's finally looking like the coaching is starting to, you know, get in tune with the game. They seem like they knowing what's going on, seeing what's going on, going forward on fourth down, the right decisions, taking points in the right decision, punting in the right decisions. You know, it seemed like he's finally putting his players in the right position to succeed, and he's taking full advantage of it. Is a team right now, you know, besides the injuries, that's clicking. That's really clicking. You can see everything coming together. They clearly are the team to beat. You know, at this point, you know, you rest some key players Sunday. You know, but you still got to keep your foot on the pedal. It's still a game that you want to go out and win. It's still a game that you want to knock them out of the playoffs. You know, just to feel good. But at the end of the day, like I said, you did what you had to do. You locked up everything you need to lock up. The most important part is to get your key players healthy for the divisional round. But all in all, you know, great performance by the Ravens. Great performance like Lamar. I don't think we've seen him play better. Maybe the Colts game, a few games here and there, maybe, but we haven't seen, you know, him play the way he's played. So he deserves all the credit. Hopefully he can shut up some of the bandwagon, you know, that, you know, some of the national media that's still talking trash about it. But great win. And there's not too much to say about the Dolphins other than they really not that good of a team. Um, you know, they're a finesse team. They banged up too. Everybody's banged up on this time, but you know, they not that good of a team. Yeah, you can see that. But we've been saying it all year. It's not like we see the Ravens blew them out and we saying like, oh no, the Dolphins are a bad team. We take it. No, we literally been saying this all year that they haven't beaten anybody up until Dallas. And the tape showed it. The tape showed it. It was like, you know, they couldn't compete. It was, you know, coaching, everything, athletes, players. It was just like it wasn't a contest. And I don't know, you know, what's going to happen as far as injury wise with them Sunday, but Sunday not looking good for the Dolphins either.
Yeah, that was a huge victory, and it's been a string of huge victories by the Ravens as far as this stretch that we went on. We talked about coming out the bye that, you know, it was going to say a lot about what type of team we are and just how serious we were with contention. And you know, you look at it, the Ravens have a plus 170 point differential this season against teams with a winning record, which is the most in the Super Bowl era. We have on paper probably the hardest or the second toughest schedule going into the season and during the season, and to be able to do that against winning teams, to be able to dominate and have that type of point differential, that means you're dominating great teams, and we've seen that recently. I wanted to shout out obviously Lamar Jackson. I think we all can say he's the only question now is it a unanimous MVP? Is he going to be join himself and Tom Brady's the only players to get a unanimous MVP? So he would be 2 times in that regard. And that's the only question now. I don't see how, as a voter, you could sit down and say, you know what, let me pick Christian McCaffrey. You know what, let me just sit here and pick Brock Purdy. I think Lamar has proven it. You wanted the numbers. He gave you a Jackson 5. Gave you a Jackson 5. He said, you know what, I'm tired of handing off my touchdown to Gus Edwards. I get us all the way down here, and then I hand it off at the 1 to Gus Edwards. Let me actually throw these bitches now. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's like, we talking numbers. Are we talking numbers? Okay, well, here you go. And listen, man, the Ravens have proven that by and far they're the best team in the NFL. We want to go into it as underdogs. Obviously, Lamar has talked about that being the mentality and wanting to not believe the hype, but I mean, it's kind of hard not to believe the hype when, you lead the league in point differential as a whole, right? So, plus 210, the next highest team is the 49ers at plus 194. So again, point differential is very important. It says that when you lose, you're not losing by much, and when you win big. So shout out to the Ravens in that regard. Lamar in that regard played awesome. Zay Flowers, Zay Likely, Odell Beckham. They said that Odell Beckham was the most improbable completion of Lamar's career. They call him Odell Beckham for a reason. The only thing I worry about is injuries with him. It's not effective. Effectiveness is not talent. It's those knick-knack injuries that occur. But I've loved what I've received from him and the leadership that he's given us, and then that timely playmaking as well. Shout out to Mike McDonald too, because he made a huge adjustments in the second half to slow down tremendously to Tattoo Tua and that finesse offense that Miami Dolphins had. In the first half, they were throwing across the middle. They thought they were just going to get whatever they wanted. And basically in the second half, Mike McDonald said, we're just going to stop sending extra pressure. We're going to stop sending extra blisters. And they only gained 43 yards in the second half, 3.1 yards per play. When we have a defense like that can stifle folk, and you have a offense like we have, which is second in the NFL in scoring offense, and obviously the number one scoring defense, it's going to be tough to beat us at M&T Bank Stadium. The only question now is, do we rest our starters week 18? Obviously, you can't rest everybody. You got to actually put some people out there on the field to dress. You can't rest everybody. I think the people that banged up, let them sit out. As far as key starters, though, especially on offense, Lamar, me personally, I would love to see him play at least a quarter, preferably a half. Want them to stay in rhythm. I don't want us to sit there and say, well, we have 2 weeks of rest, and we'll let somebody win a playoff game and then come into our stadium and have their best shot at us. Nah, I want to stay as fresh as strategically possible. I get that you don't want Lamar out there for an entire game. I get it. I don't either. But that doesn't mean I don't want him getting reps. That's me personally, though.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. Briefly talked about it Friday coming into the game. The Dolphins were 0-3 against playoff teams on the road with a negative 49 point differential. You come into the bank Sunday, we added 37 points to that. So they've kind of shown you when they go against the upper echelon of teams, especially on the road, now 0-4 with a negative 86 point differential, they're really not who they're fit out to be. They're a finesse team. You saw that early, kind of came out. We kind of missed Kyle early on, but Nick just alluded to the adjustments that McDonald made. I can't talk enough about Odell Beckham and just the bevy of weapons that Lamar has now. It's different. It's different when you have players that can go make plays for you. I think about the play that Odell down the sideline. I think about the one-hand catch by Likely. Like, these are plays that receivers have not made historically over the last 4 or 5 years for Lamar Jackson. He has those weapons now. He has those trust in his receivers now, and it shows. I've been saying it since the Detroit game. He is the MVP of this league. He cemented it on Sunday. He stamped it. Hell of a performance, but now, like Bean said, the job not done, and so now it's like Nick just alluded to. How can you strategically approach the Steelers game Saturday? We sat them against the Steelers 4 years ago in 2019. We went into that Titans game with 2 weeks plus rest, and it didn't look good. We came out flat. We came out lethargic. We weren't able to execute. Obviously, that was a younger team then, a little bit more seasoned now. So I kind of side with you too, Nick. I wouldn't mind seeing them for a quarter or a half, but I also don't want to risk the chance of injury, especially for Lamar, especially going against the rival Steelers. We know how TJ is. So
Minka would love to go at
yeah,
a knee.
Minka too.
Minka would love to go at a knee.
Minka not even
But
playing.
Thank God.
Jesus Christ.
But I know how they are in that regard. But still going back to Sunday, Justice Hill, we've talked about him. He came out, had a hell of a performance. He was big in the return game, big in the pass game. We were killing that linebacker 45 with that wheel route all day. He could do nothing with that route. Monken just dialing it up, man. And we've talked about it, and I said it from the beginning of the season. I wanted to see how this offense matured quarter by quarter throughout the season. And here we are in the fourth quarter of the season, and the offense is truly blossoming and looking like something that can really be a threat come January. So I'm encouraged, but it's a lot of work still to be done for this football team. Like this is just one notch in a belt. Like it's a lot more work to be done.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to your point about 2019. That was a great point, and that's my only fear is we're in the exact same situation. That's the blessing, though,
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
Because we've waited a long time to get back to this point. It felt like certain seasons we were kind of cheated out of because Lamar would get a fluke injury towards the end of the season, or just had injury riddled seasons as far as the entire team. So we haven't been able to feel this feeling and get this kind of revenge back for seasons now. So it's good to be here, but it's also a cautionary tale. I remember Tennessee game. Like I remember staring out my window, looking into space, asking what the meaning of life was. I didn't like that feeling. And to rest or not to rest, it's one of those situations where you screwed whatever choice you make, right? Because if you rest your starters and you come out rusty, it's like, oh, they should have played their starters. If you don't rest their starters and someone gets hurt, it's like, oh, why would you do that? That's not even a playoff game. It's a meaningless game. So but my thing is, the only thing that cautions me is we don't have a guy or guys that have been in this position before successfully. We know the failure aspect of it. We don't have anybody, maybe Calvin Noah, that's kind of gone through this situation to where they can kind of instruct or give best advice or best practice in this particular type of situation. Our other players are harkening back on the failure of 2019, right? So it'd be interesting to see if they move forward with the same path or if they pivot and try something new. And John Harbaugh is going to be the leader of that. He's going to be the one that's going to keep these guys, or supposed to keep these guys, fresh for 2 weeks. I just would feel like if Roquan was coming from a championship environment, if Lamar already had a championship, I would say rest them. They already mentally, they know what this will take. They will be fresh and ready for 2 weeks. Keyword on ready. I just don't know if we have that mental experience of doing that before. And I would like to. I don't know how you do it, because again, nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. We had so many injuries last week. I thought, damn, are we going to be able to make it through this game with a solid defense afterwards? But I don't know, man. What do you think, Keys?
As far as the rest, right?
Yeah.
I say rest them all. Rest your main players. At this point, like I said, the biggest thing for me going into the playoffs right now was health. If the Ravens healthy, I don't think you can beat them. I think that, but if you missing some of your cornerbacks because of injury, if your quarterback get a tweak his ankle or something like that, that's what makes that divisional round a little bit more scary. I'm okay with the rest. They did what they had to do. You get to this point in the season and you afforded the rest because you're 14-3. You played well. You blow up Miami. I don't need to see Lamar play this weekend against the Steelers. Now, some of the other players maybe get more rest, but I'm cool with Lamar sitting. I think he's fine. I think he's at the point in his career now where he's locked in. And he's fine. He just going to need more practice time leading up to it. You can't just have him completely off for a week. But I don't see the point in playing him against the Steelers. Like I don't see a point in playing in a game that don't mean nothing. That's my thing. That's my thing about it.
Now let me ask you, because we don't trust John Harbaugh coming out of bye week.
Right.
How is your feeling about Mr. John?
I mean, right now, and like I said, y'all know how I feel about John Harbaugh, how I think he's a terrible coach, whatever. But he has been coaching better the last couple of weeks, so I'll give him the benefit of doubt and say whatever he decided to do, I'm cool with that. He has, like I said, the last 3 weeks he has been making the right decisions, has a putting team right now. Like that call one.
They've been ready to.
Yeah, they've been ready to play. Like they've been ready to go out the door. So I'm cool with that. If he chooses to play him, I'm cool with that. If he chooses to rest him, I'm cool with that. Only because the way he's been calling these games the last couple of weeks, he restored a little bit of faith. But at the end of the day, one bad decision from John can wipe this shit away. We all know that.
And to piggyback on that point, Nick, if you look at the Ravens coming out there by the most competitive game they've had since that was the game out of the bye versus the Rams. And maybe it was the Rams. Maybe they are who we've bigged them up to be, but maybe it was just coming out that break and having that rest. because outside of that, we've looked like an explosive, almost virtually unstoppable football team. Like that's been our only test, and that was coming off of a bye.
And I mean, if you leave it to Lamar, Lamar's going to play. Like he's going to say, "I'm going out there. I want to play." That's why I think John Harbaugh need to take sticks from this week. But I get your point about the reps. But it's like reps are reps. But it's like, are these going to be empty reps? Like, are we going to force?
Are they going to be quality reps?
Yeah, are they going to be?
We're going to be max protecting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are we doing here? Are we coming out this game like a rug game? But I don't think you can do that when you know you're not. The game means absolutely nothing to the Ravens. It means zero. So that's my point. Like that's my thing about it. It's like, are we going to be dialed in like they're going to be dialed in for Miami? And I think that's a big 100% no. So
it just sucks because this team, we mentioned it like before. We were scoring a lot of points, but we never felt like there was a consistent theme with the offense. It's been a model of consistency this last 3-4 weeks as far as the explosiveness, the sustainment of drives. Like yesterday or Sunday, we had about 4 or 5 straight scoring drives where we were just laying it on Miami, and that was the difference in the game. They couldn't recover. Week before, I think it was 7 straight scoring drives on the 49ers, laying it on them. They couldn't recover. That is rhythm. That is momentum. You can't ignore that. And to your point, though, I don't know how you can continue to replicate that when you're calling max protect, where you're doing when you're running the ball first or second down, third down, you're not being that aggressive. Like if he's out there, it's going to be vanilla, you know. So,
and Lamar talked about being in the zone too.
I feel like if you could tell you in the zone, you're not in the zone. We've been an underdog all season. We like to keep it that way. This last week, we were about to get toe up, however they said it. But our team, we take that to heart, and we go out there and play football. You got to go take it, and that's what we do.
Y'all really believe that y'all been underdogs?
We have, Skull. You ain't pick us to win the Super Bowl.
You haven't picked us the last 2 weeks.
You said the Bengals will win the division.
Right. You picked the Niners and the
You
Dolphins.
picked the Niners and the Dolphins.
In May before Joe got hurt.
We the underdogs, baby.
I was telling y'all. I've been telling y'all all year.
Like, not now. Y'all
niggas now.
But underdogs.
I've been telling y'all all year.
Ain't nobody believing us all year. Now the hype train is now. But you've been here. I mean, I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying, but you've been here with people me saying. You've been here with everybody been saying. Now that we done whip the 49ers ass and whip the Dolphins ass.
Ask Odell if he feel like y'all are underdogs. Ask Odell if he feel like y'all underdogs.
The people in the locker room not gonna feel that way. They're not gonna feel that way.
Nah, fellas, this is a good ass feeling, man. This is probably the best team. This is the best team I've ever been on from the top to the bottom. We set ourselves up for success. You know what I mean? It's got to come through the bank in these black and purple unis. Go through this defense. This offense is crazy, man. Everything's right in front of us. So let's go ahead, keep preparing. Y'all enjoy this moment. You know what I mean? It don't come by every now and then. So just enjoy this moment. Enjoy the night. Happy New Year, all that.
Sound like everything but an underdog.
Yo, Skull, keep it real.
Played with a 2-time Super Bowl champ, yo.
Keep it real. You saw Roquan in that clip, right? That nigga could replace John Majors for Kang, couldn't he? Nigga look just like him.
If he can act, yeah. The way he been talking, yeah.
That's Kane the Conqueror right there, nigga.
He ain't talking. He not talking like underdog.
Yeah. Let's put a robe on that.
They got
nigga.
the same wardrobe. Country ass niggas.
Oh, but we definitely know. definitely not the underdog no more though. That's
do we know what Roquan look like? Like we know what his look like.
Listen,
that
man.
headline he got, I don't know.
Yo,
that's a little.
Him and John got the same haircut, probably the same barber and shit.
If I see him with one of us, like, all right, what you hiding, nigga? Anyway, y'all not underdogs.
Not no more.
Y'all haven't been for the longest.
Hey,
but
man,
I respect it. If that's what y'all got to do to lock in. Yeah, if that's what y'all got to do to lock in, I respect it.
How we not underdogs? We were just 6-point underdogs at San Francisco.
They did say they were gonna like wallop us.
Right? We was only 3.5 favorites against Miami. We only got the 3 points of being home.
Yeah, like come on, we are underdogs.
We had to take that respect.
Like I said, not now, not right now. But a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Even I didn't go that far against San Francisco. I just said I needed to see it. I didn't go as far as Mike Florio. Mike Florio wild out. Y'all ain't got your ass kicked all year.
Junior.
Niggas gonna get the Florio shirts. Come Super Bowl time to get there. We're gonna thank Mike Florio come Super Bowl time. It's been different.
The Nitty Florio shirt.
Yeah, it's been different since he been talking trash.
You had another clip, Keith.
Yeah, Lamar talked about ending the season on a good note.
Knowing that we still have a lot to get going on. We've got to finish the season the right way. We had one obstacle. We finished that obstacle. We got Steelers next week. So that's how I'm staying focused this season. Just taking it one game at a time. Like I've been preaching to you guys all season.
He won't beat us.
I want to beat y'all.
But I don't want to beat y'all at the expense of.
Yeah.
Tyler can beat y'all. Tyler can beat y'all.
I don't care that much. I don't care.
Tyler ain't gonna lose. Tyler ain't losing to Mason Rudolph.
Like y'all lost to Anthony Brown or whatever. Like Huntley can beat y'all.
If you want to take the sweep, if you want to take the sweep all season, if you want to take the sweep all season, that's cool. That's cool. We'll deal with that. As long as Lamar stay out there, I ain't tripping.
Yo, a season sweep during this season is nasty. Yo, that shit is disgusting. Saying we have 4 losses and 2 of them
give me some talking points.
It's not even a game you watch with your crew for real. Like you just kick back.
I'm mad that y'all had this lead. Like it pisses me off because like this game really don't mean nothing. So if we beat y'all, it's like I can't. Y'all gonna be like, yo, we.
I mean, you're going to, but you know you not.
I mean, for narrative's sake, of course.
That's what I'm saying. Like you're going to. We
swept y'all niggas 7 out of 8. We 7 out of 8.
Exactly. We swept.
It'll be 7 out of 8.
That's gonna be nasty.
But not knowing that, in the back of his mind, knowing down well we ain't play nobody in that last game of the season, but he gonna still say 7 out of 8.
7 out of 8. I mean, the numbers is the numbers. Like they're gonna number. They're gonna do what they do. But the steam in that in the 7th win that might happen, I can't beat my chest and say nah.
You can't
knowing that y'all lost 4 though. If y'all lost 4 and we was 2 of them,
you can't beat your chest about 9 wins.
No, the 9 wins is locked in. 9 wins is locked in. I was right.